Picture this. You're walking down the street when suddenly a sound cuts through the urban noise like a chainsaw through silk. It's not just any engine sound. It's a mechanical symphony that makes your heart skip a beat. That's the sound of a Porsche GT3 RS firing up its naturally aspirated flat-six engine. And in that moment, you understand why this car has become the holy grail for driving enthusiasts around the world. The GT3 RS isn't just another sports car. It's a machine that represents everything pure about driving. Everything that makes car enthusiasts wake up at dawn just to hear that engine sing. But what exactly makes this particular Porsche so special that people are willing to pay over $250,000 for one? Why do grown adults get emotional just talking about it? And why has it become the benchmark that every other track-focused sports car is measured against? Today, we're going to dive deep into the DNA of the GT3 RS and discover what makes it so utterly irresistible to anyone who truly loves cars. Let's start with the most important part, the engine. In a world where almost every performance car has gone turbocharged, the GT3 RS stands as one of the last guardians of naturally aspirated power. And what a guardian it is. The heart of the GT3 RS is a 4.0-liter, flat-six engine that produces 518 horsepower. Now, you might think that's not that impressive in today's world of 700 horsepower supercars, but here's the thing. It's not just about the numbers. It's about how this engine delivers its power and, more importantly, how it sounds while doing it. This engine revs to 9,000 RPM. Think about that for a moment. 9,000 revolutions per minute. That's race car territory. Most road cars today are limited to around 6,000 or 7,000 RPM, but the GT3 RS just keeps pulling, keeps screaming, keeps delivering that intoxicating rush all the way to its stratospheric redline. The reason Porsche is stuck with natural aspiration when everyone else went turbo isn't just about tradition, it's about physics and emotion. A naturally aspirated engine responds instantly to your right foot. There's no turbo lag, no waiting for boost to build up. You press the accelerator and the engine responds immediately, like it's reading your mind. This creates a connection between driver and machine that's almost telepathic. But perhaps more importantly, there's the sound. Oh, that sound. When a GT3 RS engine climbs toward its 9,000 RPM redline, it doesn't just make noise, it creates music. It's a mechanical symphony that starts as a growl at idle, builds to a roar at 4,000 RPM, and then transforms into something almost supernatural as it approaches the redline. It's a sound that's been described as everything from a chainsaw to an angel singing, and once you hear it, you'll never forget it. This isn't just marketing speak. The naturally aspirated flat-six in the GT3 RS uses individual throttle bodies for each cylinder, which means each cylinder gets its own dedicated air supply. This not only improves throttle response, but also contributes to that distinctive intake howl that makes the hair on your arm stand up. Now, having a great engine is one thing, but what makes the GT3 RS truly special is how Porsche has obsessed over every single gram of weight. The current GT3 RS weighs just 3,268 pounds, which might not sound incredibly light until you realize that a regular 911 Carrera weighs about 3,400 pounds. Porsche managed to make their most extreme, most aerodynamically complex 911 lighter than the basic model. How did they do this? Through an almost fanatical attention to detail that borders on obsession. The doors are made of carbon fiber, the front fenders are carbon fiber, the hood is carbon fiber, the roof is carbon fiber, even the rear deck lid is carbon fiber. But it doesn't stop there. The windows use lightweight laminated glass that's thinner than regular glass, but still maintains structural integrity. The interior has been stripped of anything that isn't absolutely essential. There's no rear seat, just a roll cage. The air conditioning is optional because every pound matters. Even the wheels are made from lightweight forged aluminum and magnesium. This weight obsession isn't just about making the car faster in a straight line, though it certainly helps with that 3.0-second sprint to 60 miles per hour. It's about making the car more responsive, more agile, more alive. When you remove weight from a car, everything improves. It accelerates faster, it brakes better, it changes direction more quickly, and it feels more connected to the road. Think of it this way. If you had to run a marathon, would you rather do it carrying a 20-pound backpack or no backpack at all? The GT3 RS is like the marathon runner who's trained so hard and eliminated so much excess weight that they can run faster and longer than anyone else on the track. But the GT3 RS isn't just about engine and weight, it's also about aerodynamics. And this is where things get really interesting. Porsche spent over 250 hours in the wind tunnel developing the aerodynamics for this car. And the result is something that looks like it came straight from a racetrack. That massive rear wing isn't just for show, it's an active aerodynamic element that can adjust its angle depending on what the car is doing. When you're going straight and need maximum speed, it reduces its angle to minimize drag. When you're approaching a corner and need maximum downforce to keep the car glued to the track, it increases its angle to push the car down onto the road. The front of the car features what Porsche calls aero bars, small vertical elements that help manage airflow and increase downforce. These might look like small details, but they can generate up to 88 pounds of additional downforce at top speed. That might not sound like much, but when you're taking a high-speed corner at the limit, those 88 pounds can be the difference between making the corner and sliding off the track. The car also features a sophisticated front diffuser and a rear diffuser that work together to manage the airflow under the car. The goal is to create low pressure under the car and high pressure above it, which effectively sucks the car down onto the road surface. It's like having an invisible hand pushing the car down, giving it more grip and allowing it to corner faster than physics should normally allow. All of this aerodynamic wizardry generates 40 kilograms more downforce than the previous generation GT3 RS. That's nearly 90 pounds of additional force pushing the car down onto the track at high speeds. To put that in perspective, it's like having an extra passenger sitting on the roof. But instead of making the car slower, this extra force makes it faster around corners. Here's something that makes the GT3 RS truly special. It's not just inspired by racing, it's literally born from racing. The GT3 name comes from the GT3 racing class, where Porsche have been competing and winning for decades. Every technology, every innovation, every design element in the GT3 RS has been proven on racetracks around the world. The suspension system uses technology derived directly from Porsche's race cars. The brakes are massive carbon ceramic discs that can stop the car from 60 miles per hour in just 103 feet. That's shorter than most economy cars can manage. The tires are specially developed. Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires that are essentially racing slicks with just enough tread to be street legal. But it's not just the individual components, it's how they all work together. The GT3 RS uses something called Porsche torque vectoring, plus which can apply the brakes to individual wheels to help the car turn more precisely. It's like having a co-driver who can make tiny adjustments to help you take the perfect racing line through every corner. The car also features multiple driving modes that can adjust everything from the suspension stiffness to the aerodynamic elements to the engine mapping. You can set it up for maximum comfort on the street, or you can dial it up to full attack mode for track days. It's like having multiple cars in one, each optimized for different types of driving. To understand why the GT3 RS is so special, you need to understand the heritage behind those two letters, RS. The RS badge has been synonymous with Porsche's most extreme, most focused cars for over 50 years, and each generation has pushed the boundaries of what's possible. It all started in 1973 with the legendary Carrera RS 2.7. This was the first 911 to wear the RS badge, and it set the template for everything that would follow. It was lighter than the regular 911, more powerful, and featured that iconic ducktail spoiler that became a symbol of Porsche performance. Only 500 were supposed to be built, but demand was so high that Porsche ended up making over 1,500. The tradition continued through the decades. The 1991 964 RS took weight saving to new extremes, removing everything from air conditioning to sound deadening to electric windows. If it wasn't essential for going fast, it was removed. The 2003 996 GT3 RS introduced carbon fiber body panels and polycarbonate windows. The 2011 997 GT3 RS 4.0 was the first to break the 500 horsepower barrier with its race-derived 4.0-liter engine. Each generation learned from the previous one. Each one pushed the boundaries a little further, and each one became more focused, more extreme, more uncompromising in its pursuit of the perfect driving experience. But all of these technical details, all of these impressive specifications, all of this racing heritage, none of it matters if the car doesn't deliver when you're actually driving it. And this is where the GT3 RS truly shines. The moment you start the engine, you know you're in something special. The sound is immediate and visceral, but it's not overwhelming. It's perfectly calibrated to let you know that this is a serious machine without being obnoxious. As you pull away, the first thing you notice is how light and precise the steering feels. The clutch is firm but not heavy. The gear changes are precise and mechanical, and the engine responds to every input with enthusiasm. This isn't a car that you drive, it's a car that you communicate with. Every control, every switch, every pedal has been designed to create a direct connection between you and the machine. When you finally get the chance to open it up, either on a track or a safe stretch of road, the GT3 RS reveals its true character. The acceleration isn't just fast, it's relentless. The engine pulls harder and harder as it climbs toward that 9,000 RPM red line, and the sound becomes more and more intoxicating. It's not just transportation, it's an emotional experience. But it's in the corners where the GT3 RS really comes alive. The combination of the lightweight construction, the sophisticated aerodynamics, the racing-derived suspension, and those massive tires creates a level of grip and precision that has to be experienced to be believed. The car doesn't just go around corners, it carves through them with surgical precision. Part of what makes the GT3 RS so desirable is that not everyone can have one. Porsche doesn't just sell these cars to anyone who walks into a dealership with a checkbook. They're typically allocated to Porsche's best customers, people who have a history with the brand and who Porsche knows will appreciate what they're getting. This exclusivity isn't just about money, though at over $250,000, the GT3 RS certainly isn't cheap. It's about being part of a select group of enthusiasts who understand what makes this car special. When you see another GT3 RS on the road, there's an instant connection with the other driver. You both know that you're driving something truly exceptional. The waiting list for new GT3 RS models can stretch for years, and used examples often sell for more than their original sticker price. This isn't just a car, it's a collectible, an investment, a piece of automotive art that happens to be capable of lapping the Nürburgring faster than most race cars. At the end of the day, what makes the Porsche GT3 RS so irresistible isn't just its performance numbers or its technical specifications, it's the emotional connection it creates with anyone who truly loves cars. In an age of electric vehicles and autonomous driving, the GT3 RS represents something pure and authentic, a machine that exists solely to create joy through the act of driving. It's a car that reminds us why we fell in love with automobiles in the first place. It's not about getting from point A to point B as efficiently as possible. It's about the journey, the experience, the pure joy of controlling a perfectly engineered machine with nothing but your hands, your feet, and your instincts. The GT3 RS is irresistible because it represents the pinnacle of what a sports car can be. It's the result of decades of racing experience, cutting-edge technology, and an uncompromising vision of what driving should feel like. It's a car that doesn't just transport your body, it transports your soul. When you drive a GT3 RS, you're not just driving a car, you're participating in a tradition that stretches back over 50 years, connecting with generations of engineers and drivers who shared the same passion for automotive excellence. You're experiencing what happens when a company decides that good enough isn't good enough, and that the pursuit of perfection is worth any cost. That's what makes the GT3 RS so irresistible. It's not just a car, it's a promise that as long as there are people who truly love driving, there will always be machines like this to feed that passion. And in a world that's becoming increasingly digital and disconnected, that promise is more precious than ever. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more. See you in the next one.